shaking my head, trying to figure out why I was the one seeing all this, waiting for someone to pull over and get out and say, what the hell was that? Or you know, something to that effect. You know? Excuse my French, but I mean, that's really, I was just, and I was trying to think of what, first I want to guard the film, and I was praying all my pictures came out, because I knew I had some good pictures if they did come out.
Right. What do you think the military people...
I'm positive they had to see it. I know for a fact that Air Force people did, because it wasn't hid behind the trees where you couldn't see it. It was like, see that big tree?
Uh-huh.
It was like on the other side, they were just sitting there next to the tree, just hovering right there. And when the airplane came over and it came back, if the pilot saw me, I mean, imagine the pilot that low to the ground, here's somebody standing there with a camera taking pictures of his aircraft. I mean, he had to see me on the ground.
Right. And also, the radar man have known about it. The radar. Right.
The thing was 1,500. At one point, I'd say about 2,000 feet above the ground, 2,000 to 3,000. And from what I've talked to radar people, they say the radar will pick up anything as low as 800 feet. You know, if they find it at 1,500, they'll sweep the area and then come back and sweep it and try to get the lowest sweep possible in order to detect the object on radar to get an echo fix. And if that was able to happen, well then obviously somebody over there saw something. The next day, I got a phone call from the Air Force Base telling me to come out there and see a Captain King. He was interested in seeing my photographs. I went out to the Air Base with my daughter in the car and got in there and got to the gate, and the guard didn't know what I was talking about. He said, well, Mr. Herman, it's 5:30 in the afternoon. Our information officer has been off duty since 12 o'clock. I said, well, somebody called me at 3:30 and told me to come out here by 5:30. And he said, well, wait right here. So I waited, and finally, about 20 minutes later, up drives his station wagon, out gets this fellow in civilian clothes, walks up to me and says, hello, I'm Wade King. What can I do for you? And I said, well, sir, somebody from your office called me and said you were interested in seeing my photographs. He said, what photographs? I said, the photograph of the UFO I took. He looked at me and he says, wait right here. So he went to the guard shack. 5 minutes later, up walks the guard in uniform with a sidearm, puts his hand on the window of the car and says, are you military? And I said, no, sir, I'm not. He looked at me like I was born yesterday, and he said, well, let me tell you this. He said, why don't you turn the photograph over to the captain and let him take it from here? So just turn the negatives and the photos over to the captain and let him take it from here. And I said, to myself, I said, I was not born yesterday. I said, listen, I'll compromise. I'll give you a photo, and you tell me what you want to do with it. Do what you want. Anything that you think you can help me find out what this is. He said, well, we'll certainly do that. Thank you so much. And he wrote his name on I.O. Bill Herman, one card, one photograph, you know. And he handed me his card with that written on the back. I took it and I left. Thankful I wasn't military. So I took these envelopes back to the information office to get my photo back from the captain. The minute I walked in his office, he was bright, face, cheery attitude, and got up and said, hello, Mr. Herman, how you doing? I said, fine. He said, let me tell you, we put it through our information channels, and this is what they told us. You photographed an F-4 Phantom flying at 5,000 feet. That's what you photographed, Mr. Herman. But if you look here, pointing to that picture, he said, if you look here, you'll see the stabilizer and the back tail, and you can even, if you look close, you can see the exhaust. I didn't know what to do. So what did I do? I pulled out my blow-up, and I said, tell me something. I put them down in front of him, the same exact picture, and I said, does this look like an F-4 Phantom to you? And he looked at it, and he kind of went like this, and he says, now listen, he says, if I was you, I just forget you saw it. I didn't know what to do. I didn't know what was going on. I certainly didn't. And as far as I knew, what I'd seen was a military project. I didn't believe it was from outer space or anything like that. I thought, well, man, you stumbled on a military project, and what proves it? The attitude of the Captain King. That's what proved it to me. You know, his attitude, his will. I thought I'd just forget it. You know, why would he forget something that's flying in the confines of the Air Force Base and flying with, so near a nuclear weapons facility and you know, in this degree? Well, I didn't know what to do. And finally, I didn't have an opportunity to take any more photographs, and I didn't know where I should, how far I should get involved in this. My father said, well, if it is government, you're going to find yourself in over your head, and they're going to do everything they can to discredit you, and they're going to hurt you, and you're not going to you got to think of your family and all this. And I said, well, maybe I should. I got a phone call about, I think it was 1, 2 o'clock in the afternoon from a gentleman who identified himself as Tom Olson. He was in town from Riderwood, Maryland, to investigate the UFO sightings and the earthquake phenomena in Charleston, which has been going on, roughly since October of '77. And he told me that he was here to investigate this. He was going to take some photographs of the areas where all the UFO sightings had taken place, and that he was going to make available to me copies of the information and his conclusions and findings. Talked with much authority, a great grasp of my naive knowledge of the subject, and suggested, could we meet? About 3:30 he arrived at the house. He had a Maryland driver's license with his picture on it, and then he showed me a retired military ID card, and I believe it said United States Air Force, retired. And then he showed me a Social Security card, and then what they called the UFO Information Retrieval Center ID card, which was a long title, but still, it was, with a picture and with a thumbprint on the front of it. Oh. Got in the car, and I had my pictures with me, and I said, here, would you like to see the photographs? Because I was impressed with the photographs as far as, here's something that shows I'm not hallucinating. Right. What do you think it is? He brushed them aside and said, we'll look at those later. Tell me about your experience. I told him. I told him about the earthquakes. I told him about seeing the object. Told him about the photograph in it. Told him about all the people I've found who have seen it. The strange things affiliated with it. The reaction to the military aircraft over the field and cross-country road. He said, well, how we get there? So we went there. And first we went to Beach Ferry, where the objects hovered over the towers and moved in triangles. He took photographs. He took at least 40 pictures at each site. A whole row of 35mm film at each UFO site. He took one picture of me at the first site, and that's all the pictures he took of me.
With darkness setting in, the men headed back to the car.
And he asked me, he said, Bill, let me tell you. He said, what do you think about taking a polygraph test in relation to this? And I'm sitting in his car, and my first thought was, wait a minute, you haven't even seen my picture. Why do you want to know this? But I was afraid if I felt put on the spot. I was afraid if I said, no, I won't, then he'll just, he'll go to the press, and next thing I know, I'll be on the front page of the paper, big hoax, Then I was afraid, well, if I said yes, it'll get twisted. I'll tell the truth, but they'll say I lied. And then it's their professional credentials against me. And I didn't know what to do. Being naive as I was, I said, okay, I'll do it. Now, I assumed at that moment in time he meant 3 weeks from now, a month from now, a couple days from now. He said, okay, we'll go to the hotel and do it right now. We walked through the door, and I'd never been in the Mills house. And I was stunned by the beauty of the inside, the big chandelier and the beautiful furniture in the different adjoining rooms, and the soft music playing in the background. And Mr. Olson, he looked at me, he said, this is a nice place, isn't it? I didn't know where I was going, I was just following him. And my thought was, well, polygraph seems to me they got to have a certain place they got to operate it. And I was assuming there's got to be somebody else with him, but I haven't met them yet, and I don't like this. I don't understand what's going on here. Seems like there's something not right here. But I wasn't going to blow the whole thing and walk out. Say, no, I don't want to do this now. The elevator came up to the 5th floor. We walked out of the elevator, walked up a little hallway in front of the elevator till we got to a big hallway. And we took a right, walked all the way down. It seemed like a long walk. And we turned right again, walked up another hallway till we got to the last room down the hall. And the thing I didn't like about that room was it was separate from the rest of the room. It was like a little box closet. I heard him tap on the door twice. The knob turned. I walk in the room and there's 2 other people in there. And one of them introduced himself as, he kind of mumbled when he introduced himself. He said, I'm Dr. Blah, blah, blah. He shook my hand. The other fellow says, no, I'm so-and-so with the Riderwood, Maryland Polygraph Association or something like that. He said, well, sit over here. And it looked like a flat machine, looked like a briefcase almost. And when you open it up, it was like a polygraph, the polygraph machine itself. You know, there was all kinds of little wires running out of it. He did not ask me to sign anything, which I felt, not that I wanted to sign anything, but something in writing to protect my rights, you know. But even when that thought crossed my mind, I dismissed it. I was manifesting naiveness. I wasn't scared as much as I was, I don't like this. You didn't even tell me there were 2 other people here. You know, and I was wondering what was going on, but if this is the way they operate, well, maybe I'll just sort of go along with the tide. But when the doctor, that guy who identified himself as a doctor, walked over to the bed, picked up a black satch doctor's bag, and pulled out a hypodermic needle and a little syringe, put them together, and then reached in the bag and pulled out, looked like a greenish liquid. Put it into the needle. He said, this is going to relax you. Now, I was scared. I wasn't afraid I was going to die. I just didn't know what he was going to put in me. And I started, my voice quivered, and I asked him, are you sure that won't hurt me? He said, no, brother, this isn't going to hurt me. And I rolled up my sleeve, and he punched me right here. And I saw it go in me, and I sat there a minute, waited for me to die, and I didn't die. And I sat there, and I felt very, very relaxed. Very relaxed. And he started asking me questions. Did you see a UFO? And I said, yes, I did. And the doctor, the polygraph guy marked something. He asked me another question. When you saw the disc, did it change color? And I said, no, it didn't. Because it didn't. And he marked it. And it seemed like his hand moved slower that time. I didn't realize it, but I was getting sluggish. I was getting more relaxed. I didn't realize it. And he asked me the 3rd time, and it wasn't like I was in a trance, but I was just totally relaxed. And then he asked me more questions. He would rephrase questions, ask the same question and rephrase. Now this went on for, oh goodness, it seemed like an hour and a half, until finally he said, that's fine. And he put down the thing, set it down, and he said, okay, I'm hooking. And I was drained of energy. I mean, I was literally, oh man, tired. He said, well, go in the bathroom, wipe your face off, put some water on your face, and relax. It's over, don't worry. And I was in there and I did that, and they conferred for a moment. I didn't hear what they said. You could hear them mumbling each other, and I didn't hear what they said. But because I had the door half shut. But the minute I came out, they all walked away from each other. Tom Olson said, okay, Bill, I bet you're starved. And I remember saying something about, not really, I'm more tired. So we left the room. Went downstairs, got in the car. Says, you sure? I'll be glad to take you anywhere. I hear they got good she crab soup at the trawler. And I said, no, Tom, I'm about to drop. I'm tired. Take me home. He said, okay. He said, listen. He said, you'll be hearing from us for the results of the polygraph examination. He said, either way, you're going to hear from us by at least Wednesday. So we drove home, and we hardly said 2 words on the way. I was tired. I didn't even feel like asking anything. People did, because it wasn't hid behind the trees where you couldn't see it. It was like, see that big tree?
Uh-huh.
It was like on the other side, they were just sitting there next to the tree, just hovering right there. And when the airplane came over and they came back, if the pilot saw me, I mean, imagine the pilot that low to the ground, here's somebody standing there with a camera with the pictures of his aircraft. I mean, he had to see me on the ground. This is an open field.
Right. And also, the radar man have known about it. Abduction and radar. Right.
The thing was 1,500. At one point, I'd say about 2,000 feet above the ground, 2,000 to 3,000. And from what I've talked to radar people, they say the radar will pick up anything as low as 800 feet. You know, if they find it at 1,500, they'll sweep the area and then come back and sweep it and try to get the lowest sweep possible in order to detect the object on radar to get an echo picture. And if that was able to happen, well, then obviously somebody over there saw something. Herman, it's 5:30 in the afternoon. Our information officer has been off duty since 12 o'clock. I said, well, somebody called me at 3:30 and told me to come out here by 5:30. And he said, well, wait right here. So I waited. And finally, about 20 minutes later, up drives his station wagon. Out gets this fellow in civilian clothes. Walks up to me and says, hello, I'm Wade King. What can I do for you? And I said, well, sir, somebody from your office called me and said you were interested in seeing my photograph. He said, what photograph? I said, this photograph of the UFO I took. He looked at me and he next day, I got a phone call from the Air Force base telling me to come out there and see a Captain King. He was interested in seeing my photographs. I went out to the Air Base with my daughter in the car and got in there and got to the gate, and the guard didn't know what I was talking about. He said, well, mister, shaking my head, trying to figure out why I was the one seeing all this, waiting for someone to pull over and get out and say, what the hell was that? Or you know, something to that effect. You know? Excuse my French, but I mean, that's really, I was trying to think of what, first I want to guard the film, and I was praying all my pictures came out, because I knew I had some good pictures if they did come out.
Right. What do you think the military people...
I'm positive they had to see it. I know for a fact the Air Force